The song I wrote for this movie is a waltz. This voice that I found is Lee's voice, and it comes from her. There are so many talented women that make music and act and perform, and I love seeing them all be celebrated by the world.
You've had two really special Venice Film Festival debuts now. I mean, do they feel similar? Can you even compare them?
Being at the Venice Film Festival is a huge honor, and I just love movies so much, and I love being in movies. So the first time that I came here for A Star is Born, I was just beside myself. I had never experienced anything like it. It was incredibly special in its own way. But this time is even more special because I get to do another film, and I get to tell a different story. And it was a beautiful night last night, and we're just really happy to be here. I also love Italian people, so being in Venice makes me really happy.
Harley Quinn is obviously such a pop culture icon, and Lee is a very different sort of character. Did you try to immerse yourself in sort of the lore of her, or just focused on creating a new character here?
You know, I definitely studied some of the lore of Harley Quinn and Lee. My character was certainly inspired by many things that sort of have been in the ether of this IP for a long time. But I really wanted to create something new. And I wanted it to be grounded in our script and the story. And I was incredibly inspired by the first film that Todd made with Joaquin, and the story of Arthur Fleck, what happens to someone in society when they're repeatedly abused over and over again. I wanted Lee to be very real, and I wanted her humanity to be unique to this film and grounded in a storm that was inside of her. I think that there's a particular kind of danger that she carries with her, but it's inside, and it's kind of explosive. And building that was a kind of like beautiful process, and I worked really closely with Joaquin, and also in approaching Lee in that way, my singing voice changed because I had to sing coming from her and her character and her inner storm coming to life through music.
Unlearning singing, I think you said in the press conference.
I did, yeah. There was a lot of unlearning of singing. I have, I've been a trained singer for most of my life, and music is so like kind of just a part of who I am. And I think, when music is a part of who you are, even if you're singing in the shower, it kind of like comes out in this like very particular way, and it could not happen that way in this movie. So this voice that I found is Lee's voice, and it comes from her, and it's completely unique to who she is.
And you got to write a song, and you also have new music coming out in October. It feels like a really big moment or a re-entry. How are you sort of anticipating all of this?
Thank you. It's just like a total honor to be able to be almost 20 years into my career and to still be able to make music that people want to hear and be in films that people want to go see. And so I'm just really excited to be doing that. And the song I wrote for this movie is a waltz. And because this film is not a traditional musical by any stretch, it kind of just defies genre. I actually wanted there to be a moment that was more traditional to theater. So I wrote this waltz that falls apart. And that's very much Arthur and Lee.
There's also such a wonderful moment happening with young women in pop music and queer women too. And I just wonder, just very briefly in our last minute, if you might comment on, what excites you about what's happening right now with all of the new talent.
I just think seeing all the new talent in music is amazing, and there are so many talented women that make music and act and perform, and I love seeing them all be celebrated by the world. It's an exciting time to be witnessing.
Look around, look at all these people.
You're back in Venice where it all started.
Yeah.
You had the premiere, the standing ovation, the reviews. How are you feeling today?
I'm just overwhelmed by it all, like always, and you know, really excited. And it was really exciting to come back here. It felt like we had to, not in a bad way, but if they would have us, it felt like the right thing to do because of how much it meant to the last film starting here.
You have said that the first film, you know, was about empathy and sort of an expression of mental health and things like that. What were you hoping to say with the sequel?
I think there's a lot going on in the sequel, and I hate to tell people what to think, but underneath it all, there's just an idea of corruption, how everything is corrupt in the system, from the prison system to the judicial system to the idea of entertainment, quite frankly. This idea that in the States, at least, everything is entertainment. You know, a court trial could be entertainment, and a presidential election can be entertainment. So if that's true, what is entertainment, right? So underneath the movie, there's a little bit of that as well. I mean, outside of the obvious plot of what's going on.
The bandwagon reference, some of those lyrics are very dark, actually.
Yes, when you look at it through a different lens, everything could be sort of dark. It's true.
You obviously employed Lady Gaga to come on and take the role of Harley Quinn. What was it about her that made her right for the role, and also challenging her to do something like not sing to her full?
Yeah, well, that's an interesting thing you probably talk to her about, but I mean, I'll speak to it. But okay, so obviously, you know, as Scott Silver and I were writing the script, we just kept leaning into music more than we even thought we would when we kind of had the idea. And so it was really important to me to find an actor that brought music with them, you know, that this way could do a little bit of the math for the audience when you see it, and you go, wait, what? It's a what? Oh, well, she's in it. Okay, it makes it make a little more sense, you know? The thing I was most surprised about Gaga was how quickly and how easily she also was able to bring vulnerability. I thought she'd have a harder time with that, quite frankly, than she did. Because while she's a great actor and a big-time actor, she's also a huge superstar, and I wasn't sure she could channel that vulnerability as easy. She did, and that was the most kind of surprising thing about working with her.
Yeah, I mean, her face just is so captivating.
Right?
On camera.
I know.
Well, I've heard Joaquin he likes to keep things fresh. He doesn't like to do the same thing. He doesn't like it to get stale. I mean, what sort of energy did she add to that dynamic?
Well, she was game for that 100%, and you know, she was like, okay, you like to keep it fresh. Let's sing live every time. And he was, of course, intimidated at first to sing live because who the hell wants to sing in front of her live? But he kind of quickly changed, and it changed the whole making of the film because all of a sudden we were on set with a pianist off camera because we were not only singing live, we were singing live differently every take, right? So it was really a trip to be on set on days where there was music. It was really wild.
You talked a little bit about the bigger budget, the bigger expectations. Obviously, so many Oscar nominations, Joaquin, and I mean, what are you feeling is at stake here?
I mean, nothing's at stake. It's why we make movies. I don't think there's not much on the line outside of you hope people like a movie, but this happens every time you make a movie. There's always the pressure But you're right. It's a lot easier. I said in the press conference you were there. It's a lot easier being the insurgent than the incumbent. You do feel like you have a larger target on your back. There's something really nice about making a movie. The first film, we were really under the radar. As under the radar as a movie called Joker could be, we were really under the radar until it came out. This movie, we had eyeballs on us from the day it was announced that we may be writing a script. You know what I mean? So you're right, there's a different amount of pressure, but that just comes with making movies. And I have learned in my older age, I took it a lot harder maybe to kind of look at it from 30,000 feet, look at it from, and just have a different perspective on it because you can't please everybody and you just kind of go for it.